Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the DuctTapeStuff channel. We're going to be making something really neat in this tutorial called the petal bracelet, which you can see here. We do have a few announcements before we get started on the tutorial, so let's get started with those first. So first and foremost, the credit for this design of bracelet goes to Marisa Puelco, and some of you guys might remember her. She was in my Saturday video, which I filmed at this year's Duct Tape Festival, and she was also the person who got me the sponsorship from Westcott Brand Cutting Tools for the channel. So this is her design, and if you check out the description, you can check out the actual video that she filmed showing how to make this bracelet. Also a whole bunch of other links like craftingrocks.com, which is a great crafting site, the Westcott Brand site, her personal site, as well as the link to her book, which is going to come out pretty soon and is going to feature this craft in it as well. So I think it pretty much covers all the bases, so let's get started here on the actual tutorial. Alright guys, so let's get started here on making the duct tape petal bracelet here. Now if you guys know how to make the duct tape flower petals already, you're going to have a great advantage because this bracelet is pretty simple. It's just a strip of duct tape with the petals on top of it. If you don't know how to make the petals, I'm going to be showing you briefly in this video as well, so you guys can make this just by watching this video. So the first thing we need to do is cut out a few strips of tape to make the band, which is below the petals here. So that's your first step. You want to cut out 2 strips of tape that are going to wrap around your wrist just like this. And these are about 8 inches long. And what we're going to do is just stick them on top of each other just like this. And it doesn't matter if you overshoot it a little bit, because you can just trim some of the extra tape off, the extra strip. It doesn't matter. But you don't want to make it too short because that'll cause a little bit of a problem. So we have them 2 stuck together just like that. We can wrap it around my wrist, and you can tell there's just a little bit of excess. That's perfect right there, and that'll work. So now we have to start making the petals. Alright, so grab a color of duct tape that you want. I'm going to use the Duck Brand Blue Surf here. You're going to cut out a long strip, and then you're going to cut that strip into 2-inch segments. And that's not going to be an absolute perfect square because duct tape is actually 1.88 inches high, so it's close to 2 inches, but it's not going to be a perfect square. And then once you peel your first square up, you're going to take your bottom right hand corner and you're going to fold it into right about there. And then if you turn it like this, you should see the letter L, that giant capital letter L with the sticky side. What you're going to do is take your top left corner and fold it in like this and line up those 2 sides over here. You should end up with a pyramid as well as a little bar of sticky side on the bottom. And I'll show you that again. We're just going to stick that down over there. And we're going to take our second piece. And you're going to be doing a decent amount of these depending on how many different colors you want and how big you want your bracelet to be. So bottom right hand corner, fold it up like that. Letter L with the sticky side. Take the top left hand corner, line it up with that right angle on the pyramid. You've got the pyramid and the bar on the bottom. So now we're just going to do that with a whole bunch of different petals and then start to stick them on our band up here. So I have a few of those petals cut out. Now let's stick them onto the band over here. I'm going to be making the exact same kind of bracelet over here with the alternating colors. This one's mustache and black. Instead on this one I'm going to be using white and blue surf. So what you want to do is you're going to take your band here. You're going to take your first one, and we're doing 3 across just like over here. You're going to align your first one right about here, and you want to kind of look onto where you're applying it so you have, like, enough even space to put 2 more of these petals on here. Make sure that's stuck down, and I'm just going to wrap this piece around the back. And make sure you come right to that end of that line and just wrap around like that. So we have our second piece. We're going to line this up right in the center. Don't worry about lining up the bottom at all. All you have to do is line up the points, the tops of those little pyramids on the top. So now we're just going to wrap this little piece around like that. Take our third and final one for this band, for this stripe. Line up the peaks once again, and then just stick that down. And then wrap that part around the back just like that. Now we're going to work on our second one, which is going to be white, and I'm going to apply this in the same spot. You want to line this one up with the same angle as the one next to it on the next row. So this one kind of comes off on this angle, so we're going to line up this pyramid with the edge of this one up here. And that'll be your guideline as you continue to apply these all the way down the bracelet here. So using this one, we're going to apply it to this angle of the third piece here. It's a little hard to see because of the blue surf pattern, but once you're making this for yourself, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see those lines, and all you have to do is connect those lines. So now we're just going to keep continuing this all the way down the band here until we have an entire petal bracelet. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like after you just use that same method to keep applying the petals in those rows all the way down to the end here. You want to leave a little bit of open space here at the end, and then once you get to that point, you can take your band and wrap it around like this, and you want to push it together like it had some Velcro or something on it. And if you can see where the petals just melt together, that means you got like a perfect setup, and you can just stop at that point. And you want to make sure obviously that it fits onto your hand. Next thing we're going to do is that this is what the back should look like. It has all those little petals wrapping around the end. We're going to take a piece of tape and seal that part down so that the petals can't jump off at all. Alright, so to do this, it's very simple. Cut out one strip of tape that's just as long as your strip is up here. And we're very carefully just going to apply this directly on top of it. It's going to be a little awkward because there are a lot of bumps created by the petals wrapping around. But once you get a good stick, you want to just stick it all the way down, and you want to push each one individually down here just to make sure that they can't pop off at all. And this will seal all those petals on in a bunch of different ways. And you should see the outline of them on underneath the tape here. And then you can just take a pair of scissors and trim off anything at the top here that you can see, as well as here on the bottom if it looks a little ugly. Alright, so at this point we have all the petals on. We have the bottom of the bracelet all sewn up like that, so we have none of the petals can jump off. Next thing to do is I put 2 spots of Velcro down here, and you can't really tell, but the adhesive is showing because there's actually both pieces of Velcro there. And now what we're going to do is very simply wrap it around my wrist here. And this will tell me exactly where to put the Velcro because it's already on there. So right there should be about good. And you can tell the petals just mold together right there. So I'm going to stick that down, and the Velcro should stick to this piece which I just pushed onto it. And then we can peel it off, and now we have the Velcro there as well as the fasteners on there. And that's how to make our duct tape flower petal bracelet. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm making the duct tape flower petal bracelet, as you can see here. You can do this in a ton of different colors. Thanks to Duck brand, there are a ton of different colors you can do this in. This one's just like on a diagonal because of the way the colors are applied. It looks like it's on a diagonal. And this one's actually just 2 alternating colors, except it gives it that kind of like a lightning bolt effect when you look at it all as one giant color scheme. This one, the petals are a little bit smaller. You can tinker with that as well. You can also make them as big as you want. These are just single bracelets with just a single band of flower petals there. You can also do it with 2. You can apply more of them. So here's just a few of them, and then there's a whole bunch of them on this one. A million different ways you can do this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial and just enjoy making the duct tape flower petal bracelet. A huge thanks to Marisa Puelco for coming up with this design.